Find out.
I'm gonna pull
Yo,
Facebook
welcome
up.
back, everybody. What's up, Blake? Y'all hear a
How you doing?
different voice with me this week, and I'm sure there's some of you on the Checkered Chat that hear a different voice right now. Sorry to alarm you, but I guess we can do it Justin's way. Let's
Yeah.
try this over. All right. Welcome to the Checkered Chat. I'm Daniel,
I'm Blake.
and we're also on Zip It Up Pod. What's up?
Yeah.
That went all right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks to all the listeners for returning to both of our pods. We're doing a little collaboration episode again. So, this week we have just the two voices of us, two Chase Elliott fans,
Yeah.
two Swifties, one pod.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great night. We're going to see how this goes. We're going to do a little mixture of both pods tonight. So we're going to take a mixture of the Checkered Chat. We're going to go through all the news from NASCAR this week, which was a lot.
Yeah.
We're going to go through the truck and the cup race from Richmond. Of course, I will have to add some Hendrick Flair in there somewhere. And, of course, we will preview Daytona, which is coming up this weekend. And so we're probably going to give Justin another 2 hours worth of listening content for his ride home from vacation.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it doesn't go that long, actually. But
yeah. We'll try.
No promises. We could talk forever about the Taylor Swift announcement.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get started with the drink of the night. Blake, what are you drinking tonight? And do you want to give a toast to anybody or anything? Or
so
what's happening over there?
We're going with All Reliable water. Grabbed
Water.
it out of my fridge right before we started. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, after working all day, yeah, it is.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I drink all day.
Yeah, I try to.
Yeah.
We'll give my toast to Lily this week in honor of her actually having a good Mount Rushmore of NASCAR. We found out before this, which was let me double check so I don't say it wrong. It was Dale Sr., Jimmy Johnson, Richard Petty, and Jeff Gordon. So
That's pretty solid. So cheers to Lily.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers to Lily.
Solid Mount Rushmore. All right, my drink tonight, I'm going to do the Blaney cocktail. For anyone that saw Blaney's post earlier today, he was asked to make his favorite cocktail, and so that's what I'm going to do. Grab a glass, an ice cube, which I already got in there. Your favorite bourbon? I did not go straight bourbon. It's a Wednesday night. I was not crazy enough to do that. But I grabbed a little peanut butter whiskey, Old Smoky. This is 60 proof, so it ain't gonna be nothing. But we'll pour that in there. We'll give it a little swirl, and then, man, if you're gonna shout out your wife, I gotta shout out my wife, or I would be looking bad. So, cheers to Kristen, who earlier this season in her Mount Rushmore said Ryan Blaney belonged.
Yeah.
Cheers to our wives for letting us talk about NASCAR and Taylor Swift for 2 hours on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that peanut butter hits.
Which
all right, Blake,
you wouldn't think I was a big Chase fan with my attire tonight, but
yeah. I went with the Harley Quinn shirt, and I'm not sure why. I didn't find the matching shirt for this one.
Yeah.
That's my excuse anyway. But all right, you want to lead us off with NASCAR news?
Yeah. So like you said earlier, it's been a pretty busy week on the news front.
Yeah.
We finally found out who is replacing Xfinity as the title sponsor for what was the Xfinity Series. It will now be the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Oh.
They got to sing that. Now they say, and our car was as fast as Xfinity Mobile or whatever. You got to make them sing the O'Reilly jingle at some point.
The jingle has to be incorporated, and it's going to get old though.
Oh yeah, I mean the same thing with my car today was as fast as Xfinity Mobile.
Yeah.
Like,
So what are we
Well,
calling that series, though?
what do you mean?
The new O'Reilly
Oh,
series, or is it the O'Reilly Auto Parts series?
so I've seen kind of conflicting. I think it'll probably get shortened and just be like the O'Reilly series, but I
O'Reilly
think
series.
it's supposed to be O'Reilly Auto Parts series.
Think that works?
It's gonna take getting used to. I
Yeah,
mean, I will say I was hoping that Bush would make a comeback and we have the Bush
yeah,
series again, but
right.
I mean
Yeah,
the
just
sponsorship makes sense. An auto parts store in
oh,
racing,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, it'll work. It'll grow on us. It always
yeah,
does.
yeah. Like when they took Monster away and they were like, okay, we're just gonna call it the NASCAR Cup Series now, no
Yeah,
title
yeah.
sponsor.
Right.
This one I know you found interesting. So on Twitter, Mamba Smith said that the point is not to crown the best driver, it is to crown the best team who executed the best when the pressure was at its highest and the lights were the brightest.
Yeah. So I do have a strong opinion towards this tweet. It seems like everybody has a strong opinion right now.
Yeah,
A lot of people do not like that tweet that he sent and disagree with his take. Um, and I have to say that I am on the other side of that. I actually agree with what he was saying in that tweet. Um, just saying that the teams are the ones that get rewarded. So because I have this podcast from a Hendrick point of view, I see things now a little bit more from the team perspective.
right.
And I think we have the greatest drivers at Hendrick Motorsports, but I also know that there's some um, really smart people that are fixing these cars up during the week. There's some awesome dudes on pit road that get those cars on and off pit road very quickly. I see it as a team aspect now,
Yeah,
and so that's what I was understanding from Mama Smith's tweet. Um, so, for example, Joey Logano. I don't know if he's top 10 in driver talent, if I'm going to be honest with you.
yeah,
But he's got two of the last three championships because their team performs in the big moments on the big stage. And
yeah,
so that's where I understand what Mama Smith was saying.
yeah.
So what'd you think about it? How'd you take it?
So I was kind of on the fence.
Yeah?
So I agree because I feel like there's no way, honestly, to disagree on the team front of it because, okay, you go to Phoenix and your Jackman drops the car. You now have a longer pit stop on a green flag cycle. Good luck.
Yeah.
So you have to have everybody firing on all cylinders, which I feel like almost was kind of a given. But in a way, I kind of feel like it was a cop out on the playoff situation right now and how everybody's on it
Yep.
because at the end of the day, you are rewarding the best team no matter what. Because, like you said, Penske, I mean, they have it down to a science right now.
Yeah.
You get a win, you figure some stuff out, you tinker with different setups, different strategies throughout the regular season, you kind of coast. You turn it on late, carry the momentum to the playoffs, and then your lights out. So
Yes.
in that front, I do really, like you said, I see the team part because I'll agree with everything you said about Joey. I think a lot of that is team, and a lot of it, I mean, like a lot of other people in the sport, is luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still, I'm not the biggest fan of the playoffs. I do like aspects of it. I do understand, you know, we want to be very entertaining. And I think it
Right.
does a good job at that. But the one race to decide who is your champion
Right.
is a little gimmicky, and I feel like it's ran its course.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because, and I mean, I'll honestly say this as a Chase Elliott fan, I think his one championship shouldn't have been 2020. I think it should have been 2022.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Harvick should have won the championship in 2020. I mean, he won like 8 or 10 races somewhere in there,
Yeah.
and it is a hard pill to swallow if you're a Harvick or a Harvick fan or whatever when your driver does that, and then Chase wins off of a good season, but a lot less, stats wise.
But that season, he turned it on at the right
Yeah,
time.
he
He
did pull a
won
Penske that
Martinsville
year.
to punch his ticket, and
Yeah.
then he won the biggest race of the season, the finale.
Yeah. Which
Yep.
I'm obviously not taking away from Chase on it.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a great team and a great
Yeah.
driver. Like all of it has to come together at the right time to be a champion.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I think there's definitely you can see both sides to what Mamba Smith is
Yeah.
saying and what everybody's arguing about on Twitter. Sure has been fun because the hot
Yeah.
topic, like you said, has been the format to crowning a champion lately. So
Which I've seen a lot of people, like I saw Breakhard make a video where he was like, well, William Byron wraps up the regular season one race early. Oh no, why are we even watching Daytona next week? This is boring. We need a playoff before the playoff, like just playing into it.
yeah.
But I mean, on that aspect, we can crown the regular season champion. Like in truck, Corey Heim, I think 2 races to go, was already regular season champ.
Yeah.
So, but why can't we? Like, I get you don't necessarily want to have, okay, going into Homestead, so and so is 100 points up. The only way they're going to lose a championship is if they get wrecked early, the other guy wins, etc. Whatever the case may be. But there's a middle ground that we need to find.
Yeah.
I mean, probably make it a 4 race final round, something like that. Cover multiple
Needs to be a larger
tracks.
sample size for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the rotating thing because I feel like Penske at Phoenix just has the formula. And I mean, if you're a Penske fan, you love it. If you're not a Penske fan, you're not the biggest on it. But just as a sport aspect, it would be like the Super Bowl is at a neutral field every year. Nobody has an advantage. Nobody usually ever plays at home.
Right.
So they don't have like the upper hand going into it. You want it to be very level and your superstars shine.
Yeah. Yeah, and as a Chase fan, I hate that we're going to Miami now. But I look at our other 3 teams at Hendrick, 24, 5, and 48. They're all pretty darn good at Miami. So
yeah,
I like the rotation thing too. That's a good start.
Yeah, I think they're going in the right direction. They're just going slower than we all want.
Right. Yeah, true. I think you're right.
Let's see. So Austin Dillon admits that he and his grandfather, Richard Childress, have been clashing over RCR's direction for the future and that it is difficult at times. But he and Ty Dillon are working on easing RC's burden and are pushing for much-needed changes at RCR. I feel like it's good that we hear this.
Yeah.
But it's also like we kind of all see this coming. It is a little surprising that Ty is involved. I get that Colleague is on the campus at Welcome, but he's not an RCR driver. But I do think having both of them gone through all 3 series, they're successful in their own rights. It is good to have the newer approach than Richards, who was the most dominant back with Dale.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Having Ty Dillon involved is interesting to me as well. But I mean, we see Denny Hamlin owning a different team. That he doesn't drive. We've seen this before. Yeah. So, and you can probably tell Ty Dillon, he's not going to be driving probably too much longer. Sounds like he'll probably have that contract for next year. Yeah. But he's just on one of those year-to-year kind of things.
Yeah.
So as soon as he gets this foot established into the door at RCR, he'll probably have a much larger role and will focus more on that than his driving career.
Yeah, and I can see him doing some Xfinity stuff with RCR while being having a big role.
Scratch that competitive itch,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's cool too because it's inevitable. RC's going to be done, needs to be done soon.
Yeah.
So this is a good way to. These 2 kids have seen him. Go through the entire Childress legacy. It's going to be left up to them, which I don't think is a bad thing. Something tells me they'll have better ownership careers than they did driving careers.
Yeah,
and that's not taken away from their driving careers. But yeah.
Because I was about to say, if you listened last week, I went to bat for Austin Dillon when everybody's been comparing him to Riley Herbst, other people that are just super underperforming in equipment. I mean, we praise Kyle Busch because we know how bad the equipment is, but and then you go out at Richmond and you look like prime Dale Earnhardt at Talladega. Yeah. You look like Marcos Ambrose at Watkins Glen. Like,
that's what I was saying. I thought we saw another Justin Bieber impersonator, but we saw Dale Earnhardt Sr. this week in Richmond.
Yeah, like, and then he hopped out of the car and said, "Who's your daddy?" That was awesome.
Yeah, we all got more than we bargained for out of Austin Dillon. Good for him. I'm sure we'll touch on that some more, though.
Yeah, and I didn't include this, but saying Ty in, like, running some Xfinity made me remember seeing this week. Have you seen where they're talking about potentially changing the rule of you can only run, like, 5 races if you're deemed a Cup driver in Xfinity in truck to let them go down and race more?
Doing more, right?
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I didn't care for the Cup guys always running the Xfinity races, like when Kyle Busch was winning so much. I didn't care for it then, but now that we've had a little bit of time where they have been removed more from the Xfinity series, I love that we get to see the Xfinity series for what it is now.
Yeah.
The only case that I can really make for needing those guys to come back and run the lower series is, like, sometimes there's a truck race where they just need those veteran guys to learn from and to see how a race is supposed to go. Because, I mean, every now and then you will get a clown show out of these lower series. But then again, they're just going to come over and keep spanking these kids. And I don't know, it kind of has forced some of these kids to grow up faster.
Yeah.
So I would rather them stick with the 5 races at most, but
yeah, I think 5's a good number because you look at how the 17 for Hendrick has ran in Xfinity. It's a part-time the whole year. You get your development driver, Corey Day, a good bit of starts. You let Chase pick some races, etc. You let everybody pick their races they want to do, and it feels like a pretty good season because then, if you only watch Cup and your guy is Larson. Okay, well, Larson's going to run these 3 Xfinity races. We have to watch these now.
Yeah.
So I get both sides of it, and I do think 5 is probably the right number because you still want your Xfinity drivers to shine, but you also aren't going to have as good of a feeder system if you don't have the Cup guys going down and sometimes just spanking them. I mean, like, you look at Connor Zilic, he's very good among the Xfinity drivers. Arguably, if not just unanimously, the best guy this year in Xfinity.
Yeah.
He can show up and race with the Cup guys when they come down to Xfinity.
Yeah.
And that to me is a reason why you're like, okay, he needs to go now. We need to get him up. And then you also can gauge, let's say Jesse Love, just random for the conversation.
Right.
You send Cup guys down and they just absolutely demolish him every time. Then you look at Jesse and you're like, hey, that's what you're up against. You want to go up there and be with them. That's what they do.
Yeah, if you want to run on Sunday with them, you got to prove it on Saturday with them.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
A little bit of beef. Tyler Reddick with Daniel Suarez. He, in his post-race, or one of the post-race interviews at Richmond, said that was an absolute worst-case scenario for them as a team because Bowman scored a lot of points, made up a lot of ground, and Austin Dillon won, so that takes the line and moves it, and they can thank Daniel Suarez for all of that.
So, yeah, you know where I stand. I'm a Bowman guy. I'm not a Tyler Reddick guy, and this guy didn't have a horrible points night till later in the race. He won a stage, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he had a good car, was going to get a top 10, maybe a challenge for a top 5. I honestly don't think anybody had anything for the 3, the 12, or the 48. I think those were your clear-cut 3.
Yeah.
I get the frustration, though, because this is like the point of the year where you don't have a win and you're you're just scrambling.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, and it does suck that it's Suarez and Ty Gibbs that are kind of fighting for nothing that take you out. But I mean, it's kind of part of it too.
That is racing.
You
And
get in the back, you're gonna get in some shenanigans.
Yeah, sure. And like you said, it's that time of year where the starting to feel a little bit more pressure. This is a team that was in the championship 4 last year, and they don't have a win. They haven't solidified a spot yet. And yeah, the frustration comes out because these big moments just magnify all the little mistakes and errors that have happened along the way to get you here. So yeah, I see that too.
Then we have Austin Dillon. Post-race revealed that he's been racing with a broken rib since Iowa. He fell off a ladder. I think it was like getting in or out of his hunting stand. Which, I mean, at this point, more power to him. That just makes the win more impressive.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But how do you know how long he's been dealing with that?
So it sounded like it was the week leading up to the Iowa race that it happened. So he raced Iowa, Watkins Glen, and then now he had raced Richmond. Race. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he raced a good race at Iowa too, and that was right after the incident, I guess.
Yeah.
I think he ran 9th there. And
yeah, I think so.
Huh. Yeah, interesting. I mean, we're not going to be able to tell he had a broken rib at Watkins Glen. He's never really been a road course guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I honestly didn't realize this. In the truck race, Jack Wood, he had a big wreck at Watkins Glen. It was some sort of failure. I can't remember if it was suspension or tire, but left front went down and he went straight like corner head first into the Armco up in the S's. And he actually didn't race Richmond because of his injuries. I couldn't find anywhere. Yeah, I couldn't find anywhere that said what exactly his injuries were, but he did miss it due to the injuries from the wreck. So I don't know if that's concussion or.
Huh. You know a lot more than I do because that is the Truck Series, and that is not my specialty.
Yeah. So, and then we'll kind of speed through this last little bit. Okay. Hallmark Friesen Racing, Stuart Friesen's team, have officially announced that they will not be pursuing a waiver for Stuart and will focus on Caden Honeycutt's title run, which, I mean, we all kind of saw coming with everything that he broke. He wasn't going to make it back this year. And then getting Caden Honeycutt to fill the seat, which is a great replacement, and finish the year out. You still could win an owner's championship or a driver's, or honestly both if everything fell right. And so I think that's a great move for the team.
Yeah.
Josh Williams has signed a 4-race deal with Alpha Prime for the Xfinity Series, and that'll start this weekend at Daytona. Hopefully, good things will come out of that. I'm a big Josh Williams guy. I've met him a bunch at Atlanta. He's super nice, and I feel like he deserves some, at least one more shot in the Xfinity Series, because I don't necessarily think the colleague deal was what everybody thought it was going to be, because they're not really like super performing at all in Xfinity this year.
Yeah. Question: do you know if those 4 races are like consecutive or if they're spread out? Maybe
I think they're spread out. The only one I know for sure he's doing is he's starting at a Daytona this weekend.
Sure. Yeah. It would make sense for them to space some of those starts out.
Yeah, because they kind of, I think he's going to be in the 45 car, and I think they kind of rotate who runs that on a week-to-week basis.
Okay.
Matt Crafton is going to retire at the end of the 2025 season, which will transfer Ty Majeski to the 88 car and then have an opening with that race team, which will be interesting because, and I knew Crafton had raced a while. Like, I knew growing up, I'd, heard Matt Crafton.
Yeah.
He's raced 25 years. So he's raced since 2000, and he has 585 starts as of now.
Okay. So, yeah, his name's been around for a long time, as long as I can remember, just like you said.
Huh. So that one will be almost in a way like one of the last of like our young childhood, riding off.
There's not many left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then today, the Cup schedule, Cup Xfinity, Cup O'Reilly's, and the Craftsman Truck Series schedule were all officially released.
Yep, saw that this afternoon.
I think, and you chime in at whenever. I think the biggest stuff takeaway for me, Dover getting the All-Star race is really weird. They don't have lights. The daytime All-Star race, and Dover hasn't produced great racing in the next gen car. I don't feel like.
Nope.
So this kind of feels like a great way to test new tires or new stuff on the car for Dover and such tracks before just giving it the boot off the schedule.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Wilkesboro got a points paying race. I definitely think that track puts on the racing deserving of it. I've been to an all-star race there. The crowd size is going to probably be an issue next year, I think, because it's going to sell out, knowing it's the first points paying race, 40 cars on the track. Well, probably 40 for that. And then the road courses are very spread out, which I like.
Are they?
Yeah. So
okay, good.
There's 2 back-to-back, and that's going to be San Diego and Sonoma, but that's mainly for traveling purposes, make it easier. Yeah. But sense. Other than that, Coda's is very early in the year, I think the 3rd race. Then you have those kind of together in the middle. So it goes Coda, Watkins Glen, and
Watkins
May.
Glen is early.
Yeah. Those in the summer, and then you have the Roval in the playoffs, and those are it. So they spread it out because I think they realized we got a little bit of road course fatigue this year, the way it went.
Is it still 6 road courses?
5.
Okay, so we took one off the schedule, which I think is a plus.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it because it also brings Chicagoland back, which I think with the way that the current cars run on an intermediate, that's a perfect track to bring back into rotation.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't even be mad if, on a performance basis, tracks could be put on the cutting block and you have 2 or 3 next in line come in. You're not producing and performing. Thank you. Next, we're going to slide this one in here, try it out. I mean, it gives you a refresh from, okay, it's the same tracks, the same year, same time of year. Maybe we changed a weekend here or there.
Yeah.
But then to round off my thoughts on the schedule, we have the trucks going to the streets of St. Petersburg to run the Indy weekend with them. So I don't know if it's going to be like the Indy Next, Truck, Indy, or what order they're going to do it all in, but they're going to be like a traveling companion series with them for the weekend.
Right. So yeah, no O'Reilly series and no Cup, just our trucks are going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is interesting.
Which it'll probably make San Diego better because this is the first truck street race.
Yeah.
So you get maybe a dumpster fire in St. Petersburg out of the way, and they learned something by San Diego. Yeah, maybe.
Time will tell, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I should have added this when you mentioned Dover.
Oh yeah.
I also like adding a points race at North Wilkesboro, but I do hate to lose that Dover points race because we just saw Chase Elliott run so well. We've seen the Hendrick guys sweep that race a few years ago. So that one stings. It hurts. And like you said, it doesn't make sense to run an all-star race in the middle of the day, and that's what they're going to have to do.
Yeah, I mean, unless they just start putting lights in soon.
Right.
But if it tracks with maybe losing that date altogether, you're not going to spend the money on that track to put lights in if it might go away.
Yeah. It's I don't see how that's going to work, but maybe they will try some new stuff because that's probably what the all-star race should, like, that's the purpose it should serve, maybe, is trying out some new things.
I mean, if you look back in the mid 2010s, that's where we got stage racing.
Yeah.
That's where we got some of the aero changes and rule package changes for the Gen 6 car. It was used as a big testing ground.
Yeah.
And I think we almost could say it still is because they tested Wilkesboro out to now have a points race.
Exactly. And, like you said, that's going to be a good race. North Wilkesboro will. It's especially if they have the tire fall off that we just saw at
Oh
Richmond.
yeah,
It's
I
going to
mean
be
that'd be
beautiful.
old school.
Yeah. I heard that North Wilkesboro coming back onto the schedule next year is going to be the 30th anniversary of them losing the points paying races there. Like
That's really fitting.
1996.
Yeah,
1996 was the last time they had a points paying race at North Wilkesboro. One of my big takeaways from the schedule is I think there's only 3 or 4 night races. And
Atlanta got one, but we lost Saturday night, and it went to Sunday night.
is that right? Sunday night. Yeah, there's just I like a little bit more than a
I
handful
like a
of
good,
night races.
especially like a summertime Saturday night race.
Yes. Yes, you're speaking my language, man. It's way too hot to be out there in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah,
But, it is what it is. We got what we got.
yeah,
All right. You want me to take off with the truck recap?
yeah, yeah. If you
Okay.
want to, go ahead, take off with it.
I'll read through each of these notes, and whenever you want to add something, feel free because I didn't see a lick of this truck race.
Yeah.
I was a little preoccupied Friday night. All right, so Ty Majeski takes the lead on lap 18, and this is the first time that he's led laps since Texas, which was back in May, and that's been 10 races ago. So big name, Majeski. I know that he should have been leading a lot more laps than he did.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to win stage 1. And then Caden Honeycutt finished 6th in the first stage, and that locked himself into the playoffs for Truck Series. Then on lap 90, Luke Finhouse and Spencer Boyden, they spin in turn 2 while they were battling for 24th.
And so
lap
Luke,
109. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I mean, Luke Finhouse is, I think, probably going to take the empty spot in that team that Matt Crafton's leaving. He's a younger
Maybe
guy.
taking Majeski's ride.
Yeah, like taking that number. Majeski moves over for Crafton, so that'll fill the void because he's ran a good bit of starts with them this year. He's had speed and he's shown glimpses. He kind of, like this instance, just doesn't have the luck so far. He kind of just gets caught up.
Gotcha. All right. Well, lap 109, Dawson Sutton makes contact with the inside wall, and he stops at the entrance to pit road running 21st.
So that one, if you watched it live, it was Fox being Fox. I mean, dude is just parked at the entrance of pit road, nosed into the wall, and getting out. And they're like, oh, so the caution's out. What's it for? Oh, he stopped at the end of pit road and getting out of his truck. I wonder what happened. Couldn't find a replay of what happened.
No?
And they were like, massive hit. And then they panned to his car, and there's like not much damage at all, but he's getting out and walking off. Which
so strange.
Is just my plea to please do not remote broadcast races. When they're not at the track, they're not going to know what's going on because you have to think that's almost like us sitting there trying to commentate it off of just watching TV.
Right, yeah.
So if it's not on one of the, like the 2 or 3 like big cameras that cover it, you're not going to know.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to remote, like do all that broadcast.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be a dream job. How about we go work for them?
I'll do it in a heartbeat.
I know you would.
You'd have me up in there like Dale Jr. Slide job. There's a wreck.
That'd be wonderful. All right, where were we?
So
lap 113.
Yeah.
Ty Majeski restarts 8th, and he is the first truck on fresh tires at that point.
Yeah, that was kind of the first time. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
That was like the first time in the race we got to see a difference in strategy to see if tires even mattered, and it was kind of coming to the closing part-ish. So, like, if you pitted, you were going to make it to the end of the stage.
Yeah.
So that, I think, opened the door later in the race for people to try and say, okay, hey, we could come down and get tires and rally back from deep in the top 10 to make it back up if we have the speed.
Yeah. So it looks like it worked out for him.
Yeah.
They only had 27 laps to go, so he went from 8th to winning the stage on lap 140. So he swept the stages. And then lap 200, Majeski is the leader. Matt Crafton was 14th at the time, and they make contact and spin in turn 4 after it looked like they ran through oil. And that also collected Spencer Boyd, and this gives the lead to Sammy Smith. Did all that come out correctly? Did I say that right?
Yeah. Yeah. So Matt Crafton was like actively getting lapped, trying to stay on the lead lap, and their teammates. So it's bad when you first watch it live. You're like, oh my, he really just wrecked him. Like he could have won the race because he had the dominant truck. And then they go back to the replay and they're like, oh, there was oil on the track because I forget there was a truck that had damage and it leaked oil out and they didn't throw the caution fast enough. So when they got down in the turn, it just swept them up.
Right.
Which, I mean, crushing into the day for Majeski.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. I think that was one of the few highlights that I saw from that race, and I thought the same thing. Like, how the heck, or why is he turning them like that? But some things you just can't avoid.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we had lap 230. This is when Corey Heim clears Sammy Smith for the lead, and then a couple laps later, lap 233, Majeski makes it up to second, and then Lane Riggs gets up to third place. Corey Heim goes on to win the race. I'll give you more in a second on the top 5, but by finishing 7th, Jake Garcia clinched the 10th and final playoff spot. So Heim was a big winner, and then Garcia was also a big winner there.
Which I'll be 100% honest. At that point when they announced that, that's when I was like, oh, the trucks aren't running Daytona. This is their regular season finale. Gotcha.
Yeah.
They didn't I didn't feel like they talked about it in the broadcast all that much. Like, to be like, hey, these guys are battling to make the transfer spot, to get 10th, to go to the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, you see the Cup advertised about their playoffs quite often, but I had no idea that was the truck's last race in the regular season.
Yeah. And then if you want, for some reason, I didn't change it. It says top 5, but we put the whole top 10. Like, I just screenshotted the whole top 10 and put it on there.
Well, let me give you the whole top 10 then. So we had Corey Heim winning the race. Majeski ran second. Lane Riggs third. Sammy Smith fourth. Corey LaJoy fifth. Giovanni Ruggiero sixth. Jake Garcia seventh. Ben Rhodes eighth. Chandler Smith ninth. And then Caden Honeycutt 10th. And that was the truck recap.
Yeah, which, if you listen to the Checkered Chat or you keep up with race picks, I love me some Lane Riggs when it comes to short track racing. But I picked Corey Heim in weird enough fashion. He won probably, it was like he stole a race back that was stole from him earlier in the year with some weird stuff happening. So it kind of full circle-ish.
Right, works itself out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go on to the Cup race now, which we'll hit on a couple things that happened before the race on Saturday night even started. Joey Logano and Todd Gilliland both start from the rear with unapproved adjustments. Joey's coming after he blew a right front tire and hit the wall in turn 4 during practice. He tried to go out and make his qualifying lap to just keep that set of scuffs for the race so they weren't at a tire disadvantage. Not sure if he did get to keep those, honestly. But he couldn't even complete the qualifying lap because the fender was rubbing the tire so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually watched that qualifying, and you could tell from practice with the tire wear it was going to be a phenomenal race.
Yeah.
And then to see that happen to Joey, I was like, what a beautiful start to a great short track weekend ahead.
I commented on, I forget, I think it was like Motor Stardom's post where he put the picture of Joey in the wall, and I just said perfect start to the weekend. And then I just started getting likes and likes and likes. And I was like, yeah.
And that wasn't even from your burner account, right?
No, that's from the real one.
Yes, sir.
So, qualifying, Eric Jones gets into the wall on his lap, and then SVG hit the wall 2, 3, maybe 4 times. I mean, it felt like they had the car loose, and every time he came up off the turn, he was sliding the back end into the wall.
Yeah.
which we won't really get into SVG, so I will say he did finish 14th, so Mr. Improving on Ovals is kind of improving on ovals. I'll also
Career
say
best,
that
right?
I think it tied
his career best?
Yeah, I think it was Coke 600 this year. He also was
Wow.
14th.
Okay. Yeah, he's
I
making
might be
improvement.
wrong, but he definitely is. I also like SVG. I just like to pick the fun of like Mr. Improving on ovals. Only can
You
win
have
on a
to.
road course.
You have to.
So stage 1 of the Cup race was not very eventful. Tyler Reddick goes on to win. That was lap 70. Fast forward to lap 180. Tyler Reddick gets spun in turn 4 after Suarez and Gibbs make contact. We kind of touched on that in the news earlier. And then lap 192, who else to bring out a caution other than Mr. Cody Ware?
He's got to be mentioned for some reason.
I mean, he gets his money's worth.
Yeah.
And then lap 198, we had the absolute kamikaze move of Kyle Busch just plowing through Chase Briscoe into turn 3. They were right around 11th, so both having good days, battling right around the edge of the top 10. And that ended up collecting Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, Justin Haley, Ty Dillon, Denny Hamlin, obviously Briscoe, Todd Gilliland, Cole Custer, and Eric Jones. Then, once the wreck's over, Kyle Busch just runs down the track, takes Chase out, and then that also gives William Byron a little bit of damage, but pretty much hands him the regular season championship also.
It does. Yeah. Yeah, you said Kyle Busch, and I heard pinball machine.
Yeah.
What the heck? Unbelievable. Yeah, just became illegitimate out of nowhere.
all of the washed allegations were proven correct in that one turn.
I mean, really, he really needs to hang it up sooner rather than later.
I mean,
that's frustrating.
Yeah, selfishly, as somebody that has came around to like Kyle Busch on the tail end of his career, I would like to see 1 year of him at RCR with maybe Richard Childress reins pulled a little bit back and more Austin Dillon input to see what he's got still. But it does kind of just feel like the writing's on the wall, and we're ending the Rowdy era for sure in the next few years.
Even more and more by each week.
Yeah.
He's less enthused than he's ever been.
Yeah.
And that's never been his issue. Like he's a racing guy, but you just don't see it anymore. I thought Richmond was going to be his one chance to kind of like turn everyone's eyes this week and maybe punch a playoff spot. Because, I mean, he's an RCR car, and I think he's a much better driver than Austin Dillon is.
Yeah.
And then Austin Dillon goes out there and not only smacks his butt, but everybody's butt, yes. Yeah. But I just thought we would see more from Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I definitely did too.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he took our boy out, and I didn't like that one bit. And even though he apologized to Chase, he didn't apologize to me. I'm not okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, which I do understand the whole, like, Chase wasn't mad at him. He apologized to Chase. Like, it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I mean, honestly, as fragile as these cars are at times, something might have been broke and he couldn't have gone anywhere but down. But
yeah,
it's just, it was frustrating.
Yeah.
But I think overall, as a Hendrick fan, as frustrating as it was, you also were like, well, we at least locked up the regular season for Byron.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, glad we have that because the other guys have kind of snuck into that picture.
Yeah, which I'll leave a little bit about Chase from that wreck to you that I feel like you're gonna talk about in your Hendrick.
We'll come right back around to it probably.
So then we'll have Bubba Wallace winning stage 2.
2311 sweeps.
Yeah, and honestly, the best 2311 driver this year, the best 2311 team this year. Yes, they've had hiccups. They had races where they've showed speed and then just fallen off, whatever it may be. didn't have that on my bingo card at the beginning of the year
No.
at all. I definitely, not that I think Bubba's the absolute worst driver in the world, but I think Tyler Reddick is just so much more talented.
Tears above him.
And it's just so weird to see he's almost outshining Reddick this year.
Yeah, I would agree. And like I said earlier, Reddick, he's not my guy. He makes me cringe more than just about any driver does. But I can recognize how much better he is than Bubba is. But this season has been totally different, like you said. I did not see it coming.
No.
Definitely one of the biggest surprises of the year.
I was ready, like, the beginning of the year to say, okay, and I'll have to go back and look, but I think preseason I might have put him in my Final Four, and then now he might not even make the playoffs.
That's wild. Yep. But it's probably just a fluke.
Yeah,
he'll be right back to it. He's talented enough, and they're good enough of a team if they get all that figured out.
Yeah.
With the starters and stuff, they'll be able to refocus. They'll be all right.
Yeah. So then we'll go to the start of stage 3. Christopher Bell leaves his pit stall. Team realizes the lug nut not tight at all. So he backs up, retightens it, and that kind of, not that he was, I feel like, much of a factor, but I think that just eliminated any shot at seeing Christopher Bell up front.
Yeah. At that point in the race, there were comers and goers, so he could have been one of those guys to be a factor, but that stop definitely deleted that.
And then we'll go lap 279. This is the start of the absolute team driver complete meltdown of the Spire 77 car. The one thing that he did wrong, everything else is his team. He's coming to pit road to pit. He misses pit road. So got to speed back up, go back around the track. Yeah. So that hurts because he was doing a 3-stop strategy in the final stage to try and be on fresher tires at the end, catch everybody.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was moving.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that play out to the end if it wasn't for the other hiccups we'll see that we'll get into.
Right.
Lap 291, Bubba Wallace loses his left front tire after leaving his pit stall. And then, conveniently, parks in Chase Briscoe's stall. The wheel comes into Chase Briscoe's stall, and they put it on.
It kind of looked, watching that in real time, like he kind of planned to stop the tire with his car.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can plan for that, but that's what it appeared to be.
Yeah, because, I mean, which it's hard to turn without a tire on, I'm assuming. But it was almost like he wedged it where the tire was going to hit the side of it.
Yeah. In a Toyota car's box.
Which, that's the second time this year that somebody not named Chase Briscoe has pitted in Chase Briscoe's pit stall.
Yeah.
And I listened to the team radio because somebody posted it. And you can watch on the in-car, Chase is just driving around Richmond, minding his business, logging laps. The tire, get the tire, put the tire back on. You have to be sitting in the car like, is my tire falling off? Like, what is going on here? So that effectively ends any shot Bubba had at a good finish for the day.
Him too.
Yeah, so Toyota pit road mistakes really, really bit him this week.
Yeah.
Lap 292 on some green flag pit stops, the pit cycle, Blaney leapfrogs Austin Dillon. So that was kind of the first time in stage 3 you had somebody other than Dillon, it felt like, dominating or at least just have the position over him.
Sure,
Lap 320, Hocevar pits, and the jack drops on the right side of the car. Don't know if it was a jack issue or the jack man just timed it wrong. So second strike of the day for him. I mean,
you're not gonna win many races making that many mistakes.
No. And I think they'll figure it out. I think part of it is growing pains of Spire is probably overperforming with Hocevar right now, so the team as a whole isn't ready to compete.
Yeah.
Like, for a win.
Yeah. Yeah, they it seems like that team needs to catch up to him.
Yeah,
And when they do, they're going to be dangerous.
yeah, because I mean, almost won Atlanta second race of the year. Arguably, that caution shouldn't have been thrown, and he probably would have won.
Right.
You had Coke 600 blows a motor leading on a restart.
Yep.
Michigan blows a tire leading late in the race. I mean, he's been there. He's had the opportunities. It's just it'll come with time.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah, it
feel a
will.
lot more confident in saying it's not if, but it's when for him
Oh, yeah.
than I do a Ty Gibbs.
Yes, same. I think we've seen if Ty started here in the season and Hocevar was here, we've seen them flip flop. I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I think too, which everybody thinks it's corny and it's dumb, and you shouldn't compare Hocevar to Dale Earnhardt, or you shouldn't compare him to whoever. But it's not skill that we're comparing. It's just I don't care about anybody on the track but me. If I'm faster than you, you're getting out of my way whether you like it or not. Like,
Yeah.
he's the only person that really feels like they're willing to rustle feathers week to week.
Right.
He's
Yeah,
almost taken Chastain's spot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure has. He a lot of times I think we hear them blame it on, oh, the car can't do this, car can't do that. But we see Hocevar able to put that car in tough spots and do things with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
like you said, he's willing to make those moves.
yeah. And I think some things will iron out as he gets more experience and he gets farther into his career, but also I don't want some of it to change.
Yeah, no.
We need somebody with a little bit of an edge to him.
For sure.
Then we'll kind of rapid fire end the rest of this race. Lap 340 on the next pit cycle. Dylan passes Blaney for the lead. Like on lap 340, he passes him, dips down on pit road. Lap 341, great strategy call by the crew chief on that. I believe Blaney stayed out 4 or 5 more laps after that, and that kind of, which they were trying to get fresher tires, but it didn't work out.
He needed to come at the same time.
Yeah. Lap 359, Hocevar's final pit stop of the day, and another jack issue on the right side of the car. So that was just signed, sealed, delivered, not happening.
They were all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Let's see. So 385, Austin Dillon leads, but this is when Bowman passes Blaney for second. This is an interesting fact. This is the first time since Dale Earnhardt in the 1998 Daytona 500 that the number 3 car has led over 100 laps in one race.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, which part of that, the 3 wasn't ran until the mid-2010s when Dillon came up. But Dillon's had 10 years to lead 100 laps in a race.
Right, yeah. And, hasn't pulled it off till this week.
Yeah. Really sucks for Bowman. He had the lap times to at least get up there and try to make it interesting. But in his words, I guess our team isn't very popular in the garage because everybody sure was blocking us. I mean, Jesse Love was blocking the crap out of him.
Yeah, and was that an RCR entry? Is that correct? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, that one I was like, okay, we know why. Not race manipulation. That one's fine to block him for a little bit. It's your teammate. But SVG, I was like, SVG. Okay, just pull over and let him go. Like, he's second. He's not lapping you. You're already lapped.
On the track.
Yeah.
Just get out of his way.
Which also is a next-gen issue that a lap-down car can run side by side and compete with the fastest car on the track.
Yeah. Agreed with that, too.
But so, as we all know, Austin Dillon does go on and, in some people's eyes, gets his only non-Mickey Mouse deserving win of his career. I don't think I wholeheartedly agree with that. I also slightly am an Austin Dillon fan.
Hey, I was happy for the guy.
Yeah.
Of course, I wanted Bowman to win or run him down and at least have a chance, but hard not to be happy for Austin Dillon, especially after the way last year went.
Yeah.
To see him come back and just spank the whole field kind of felt good, to be honest.
Yeah. So we'll give you the rest of your top 10 for this, and we'll move on to talking about Daytona this weekend. So, as you know, Bowman finished second, and then quietly, Penske goes 3-4-5 with Blaney, Logano, and Cindric, which is very interesting because that like even in Cindric's words is like his worst track. He's never done good there. Blaney's really never done good there. It's kind of been Logano or bust.
Yeah.
Larson is showing that he's capable of driving a race car again. He finished sixth. Daniel Suarez, the wrecking ball, finishes seventh. So good for him. The fourth entry for Penske, Josh Berry finished eighth.
Yep.
Brad Keselowski kind of on his little end of the summer hot streak right now. Gets another top 10. And then who other than Denny Hamlin to get a top 10 at Richmond?
Of course. So, yeah. Do you know who leads the series in top 10 finishes this year?
HMS or non-HMS?
It's for the whole field.
Okay. Whole field.
But it is the HMS driver.
Okay. Because I was between saying either Denny, Chase, or Byron. So
no, none of those three.
Oh, it's
Larson.
Bowman. No,
Larson.
It's Larson?
Yes, so
That's shocking.
I'm pretty sure the number's 15.
Okay.
He's got 15 top 10 finishes. Do you know who is second? It's another Hendrick car.
I'm going to say Byron.
Bowman.
Okay.
And he's at 14.
Yeah. I mean, Bowman's Mr. Consistent, but he's not good enough to drive a Hendrick Motorsports car.
He's always up there, and he's going to lead the series in top 10s. I'm telling you now.
I can see it.
Yep. All right, let me give my Hendrick team analysis real quick. I can't talk. I'm just like Justin. What a great substitute.
We fired Justin. We hired Daniel.
Check it out. Same thing. Having trouble with words over here.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to Zip It Up, I like to also give a Hendrick analysis. So I'll mention each of our individual drivers from Richmond and how they did. And then I'll also update on the current driver standings. So, and I will also make this quick because I think everybody knows how Richmond went. But Bowman was our best finisher. He started the race ninth. He scored stage points in stage 2. He finished fifth. And then, of course, he finished the race second. So he was our best showing. Larson started 30th. Terrible Saturday for him. But it got better on Sunday. He finished 10th in stage 2. And then he finished the race in 6th. The two guys that haven't been mentioned as much for this race, William Byron started 14th. He finished the second stage in 9th. And then he finished the race 12th. So just a so-so race for him. The big takeaway there, though, he did clinch the regular season championship. So all in all, great day for the 24 car. And then Chase Elliott started the race 5th. Looked like our best car, but he went on to finish 38th, which I believe was the last place car in the race.
Yeah.
And my big takeaway now is he can't get a top 20 to save his life all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And we might run into that this week at Daytona. Hopefully not, but yeah, it looks like he has lost all of his mojo all of a sudden.
Wrong time of year for it.
Wrong time, yeah.
And that was his first DNF of the year.
Yeah.
Broke the top 20 streak at Watkins Glen. Like you said, now you just can't buy one.
No. And he doesn't have a great history at Richmond, and he was looking really good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he was going to be able to contend with Austin Dillon, but I'd have loved to see that play out.
Yeah, I mean, but I think on paper you kind of could draw some conclusions because if your pecking order was Chase and Bowman 1-2 and Bowman was on track to track him down, imagine if we had Chase in that position.
Maybe, right. Guess we'll never know, but we'll try again next year. So let me update you on the current driver standings. This is very important. Usually I just mention our 4 Hendrick drivers, but I'm going to give you some reference since there's only one race left in the regular season, and there are some playoff points on the line. So we mentioned William Byron. He clinched the regular season championship, so he's going to get those 15 playoff points added to his total. Chase Elliott right now is currently second. There's no way he can catch first. but he could be caught from behind. So where Chase is right now, he's only 5 points in front of third place, which is Denny Hamlin.
Yep.
And then if you go another 7 points back from Hamlin, we got Larson in fourth. And then if you go another 3 points back from Larson, you got Blaney in fifth in the points. So all those guys are racing for extra playoff points here at Daytona this week, and they're in a little group only separated by a total of 15 points from Chase to Blaney. So we'll see how that turns out. Last thing I'm going to mention is obviously Alex Bowman is in an interesting spot going into Daytona. He is 16th in the playoff standings, and right now he is plus 60 to that bubble line. Obviously, if there is a new winner from below him, it has to be below him. A new winner could knock him out. And if that were to happen, he is just 29 points behind Tyler Reddick. So there's a little bit of life there. Going to be difficult, but there is just a small smidgen of hope. If he can score some stage points, I would imagine Reddick's going to try to stay out of trouble and may not be as dicey towards the end of the stages. If the 48 car can score some stage points and kind of lessen that gap, that could be an interesting race to watch towards the end of Daytona. But that's how the points look. You want to add anything?
So Bowman could almost, if points wise he has good enough stage 1 and stage 2, he could almost bait Reddick into, okay, now I have to come back up here and get in the mix.
Yeah.
Because he's cut the lead down from 29 to easily in the teens if you have two good, strong stage showings. So
I think that's the goal. The 48 is just going to be go get as many points as we can. If we wreck, we wreck. Like, you're going to go out swinging.
I mean, you kind of have to treat it as a must-win. You can't play defense as the last car.
Yep.
Because there's so many people that could show up this weekend and win because it's going to be a wild finish, as everybody knows. So
now the only way that changes is if for some reason Reddick has a bad start to the race. Let's say some kind of mechanical failure or something happens, and he ends up gone. If Bowman can score some early stage points, then he can points race the rest of the night, essentially.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt that anything like that's going to happen. So it's balls to the wall for Bowman.
Yeah.
But before we get into the Daytona preview, I got a few questions I'm going to ask you.
All right.
Because essentially you are a guest on my pod this week. And so since you're co-hosting with me, I got 5 questions that I like to ask all of my co-hosts. And they'll kind of come off as rapid fire. I know you have some answers prepared for me. So first question is, how long, Blake, have you been interested in the sport of NASCAR?
So I'm 25 years. I mean, honestly, like, my dad loved NASCAR, was really into it. So, I mean, probably from the age of 2, I had 164s. I'd be on the ground rolling them around as the race was on TV. My parents have said at the age of like 3 or 4, I'd sit there and watch a whole race from start to finish without like taking my eyes off the TV. So, I mean, it's been a lifelong obsession.
It's your thing. I love it. Okay, next question. Since you are joining a Hendrick podcast, how much interest do you have in Hendrick Motorsports, if any?
So, a little bit. I would say overall, team-wise, they're my favorite organization. They house 2 of my favorite drivers. Number 1, obviously, being Chase Elliott, but then also Alex Bowman is probably like number 3 for me on favorite drivers. So you got that. And then I don't have anything against Byron. I like him at times more than others, but the only guy I don't really super care for too much is Larson, but he's good for the organization when he's not running Chase over.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Don't get me started either. I can keep it real.
Yeah.
All right, so I think you might have just answered also question number 3 there. We can draw conclusions from what you just said.
Yeah, but, so we'll go for my pecking order of Hendrick. We'll go Elliott, Bowman, Byron, Larson.
Sounds good. Like it. Okay, who are some of your favorite current drivers from other teams?
So we'll go with Blaney.
Duh.
I wore it to be different, not to wear Chase stuff like I do most weeks.
Yeah.
That's probably my second favorite driver.
Okay.
Uh, Hocevar, really love Hocevar.
Yeah.
He's climbing the ranks fast. Gregson, I know he has not had a great Cup career, but I'm still the Xfinity days still carry me with him.
Yeah.
Uh, Chastain,
Yeah.
it's came on a roller coaster at times because
Sure.
of things he might have done to Chase or Hendrick or whoever I may like, but we'll round it out. I like SVG. I think he's a great personality. I also just like that you really can't make him mad. He's just going to go out there and be
Yeah.
better than you.
And he's gonna smile right in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busher and Brad, I really like out of RFK. Um, Brad's another one, kind of like, so Kyle Busch is the last one ended off. So Kyle
Okay.
Busch and Brad, from the ripe age of 8 or 9, couldn't stand him, never liked him.
Yeah.
My first Cup race I ever attended live in person, to my knowledge, I'm still trying to fact check this, but was 2008 Atlanta, and Kyle Busch got Toyota's first ever win and won in the 18 car, and that just began my hatred for him because after that, it felt like every Atlanta Cup race I went to, he won.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think the only Atlanta race that I've been to, he won.
yeah. I was lucky to get a Gordon win in there.
Did you?
Yeah, but Bush did kind of dominate my growing up races at Atlanta. I like Brad. If we go to a super speedway, I'm Brad's number one hater. He's gonna destroy people. It's just Brad. But Busher, I've really grown to like over these last couple years. I've never had a reason not to like him, but I
Okay.
think I think he's going to be your poster child for RFK in the next couple years when Brad steps away.
Yeah. Okay. Good list. Last question I got for you then is who is on your Mount Rushmore of NASCAR?
Okay, so I know we kind of briefly talked about this. You can take it two ways, and I'll give you the answer for both. So the four I feel like all time that you have to say are the goats of the sport. Um, you have Earnhardt, Gordon, Johnson, and Petty.
Yep.
You know,
That's
uh,
my 4.
I feel like Petty, you almost could leave off, but it's disrespectful because there's the different era conversation, but like,
Sure.
dude was dominating. There's
Yeah.
no way around it. Gordon may not have the championships that Earnhardt and Johnson have, but he arguably could be a better driver than Jimmy was.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I personally am on the side that Gordon was better than Jimmy.
Yeah.
I never was a huge Jimmy fan, but I do have to respect him. I grew to like him more as he got older and started winning less. It's funny how that works. But then, so for me, if I had to give my 4 all time throughout my life, people that I've loved watching the most, my 4 probably favorites of my life. You got Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, Chase Elliott, and then 4 could kind of be a list of different people. But in honor of your wife's Mount Rushmore, I will put Blaney on that one.
Blaney's in there. All right,
Yeah.
good. Good picks. All very good drivers. You clearly have a good love and passion for the sport. So man, yeah, good to learn about you. I'm glad my listeners got to learn about you. Maybe your listeners learned a little something there too.
Yeah, I don't know how much we've touched on, like, I think you could, if you listen to ours, you could draw conclusions on who I really like and who I don't.
Sure.
But I don't know if we've ever laid it out kind of that way. So maybe next week when Justin comes back, I'll ask him the same stuff, so then our listeners can learn that about him.
We'll send him over here, and I'll ask him too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a Daytona preview. I'll have you do the next gen winners first, and then I'll give some Hendrick stats after that because I need to find it on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I also just saw Joey Logano right now is at the BJ's restaurant in Daytona. So
nice.
I'm so glad I'm not there right now.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse is probably at the table with him, serving him pancakes for that championship last year. So your next gen winners at Daytona. We'll start off 2022. Your 500 winner was Cindric, and your summer winner was Austin Dillon. So that was an Austin sweep that year. 2023, Ricky Stenhouse won. I was in person for that one. Really wanted Kyle Busch to win it. It was a bummer, but seeing Ricky win was cool. Buescher won the summer race. 2024, Byron won the 500. Harrison Burton, in just complete walk-off fashion, literally losing his job and all, wins the summer race. And then your Daytona 500 winner this year is none other than William Byron again.
Yep. So I was at all of those races. I love Daytona. It's my home track if I had a home track. So I'm going to give you some stats from Hendrick's history at Daytona. So as an organization, we've raced in 83 races at Daytona. We have 17 wins, which is the most of all organizations. We got 23 poles, which is the most. We have 64 top fives, which is the most. 114 top tens, which is the most. And we have led 2,331 laps, which is more than all other organizations. So a lot of those stats do not include our 4 current drivers. A little bit does, but not all of them. So I'm going to give you the individual stats from the 4 guys that we will have racing on Saturday, beginning with Larson in the 5 car. Now, his history at Daytona includes 22 starts, no wins, 1 pole, 0 top 5 finishes. He does have 5 top 10s. He's led 36 laps, and his average finish is 21.9. Not a strong track for Larson. Now, Chase Elliott has 19 starts at Daytona. No wins, but he does have 3 poles, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s. He's led 174 laps, and his average finish is 21st. William Byron has 15 starts, and that includes 3 wins, 2 Daytona 500s, and then his first career win was the summer race. Yep. He has 1 pole, 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s. He's led 110 laps, and his average finish is 21.7. And then Bowman has 18 starts at Daytona. No wins, but he's got 3 poles, 2 top 5s, 7 top 10s. He's led 53 laps, and his average finish is 14.7. So much better average finish from Bowman's time racing at Daytona. But with that being said, now that we know about the next gen winners, we know a little bit of Hendrick history. I'm going to give you some betting lines going into this week. I like to do this on my pod every week because there are some people that like to bet on these races, and this is definitely one that I like to bet on just because it is such a toss-up. So the favorite for this race is Joey Logano. He's plus 1,000 in the odds. And so I'm going to give you not everyone, but I'll give you the 4 Hendrick guys and then some notables. So Chase Elliott is plus 1,300 to win this week. William Byron is plus 1,400. Larson is plus 1,750. And then Bowman is plus 2,250. And then our notables. All these notables have one thing in common. None of them have won a race yet this year, so they could win their way into the playoffs if they win at Daytona this week. But Brad Keselowski has the best odds out of all those guys. He's plus 1,300. Then we got Kyle Busch at plus 1,500. Ricky Stenhouse and Chris Buescher are both plus 2,000. Tyler Reddick is plus 2,250. Hocevar is plus 3,000. Michael McDowell, a former Daytona 500 champ, he's plus 4,000. And then Ty Dillon is plus 6,000. Obviously, there's a lot more to that list, but I don't think we have the time to go through every single driver. Those are just some that feel like they might have a pretty good shot this week. So with all that being said, we should make some predictions, and then we'll get into paint schemes after that, huh?
Yeah. So we'll kick them off with Justin's picks for this week that I'll be announcing for him.
Okay.
We have Justin picking Austin Hill to win the Xfinity race. I think it's
Okay.
a pretty safe bet.
Yeah,
Cindric as his overall pick. Great super speedway racer.
for
He
sure.
loves Cindric. Also, his wife's favorite driver is Cindric. So,
Mount Rushmore, maybe.
yeah, maybe. His
Mount
Hendrick
Rushmore
pick.
of super speedways.
Yeah, he might could sneak his way on there.
He could at the end of time.
Yeah,
Maybe. He's good.
yeah. So his Hendrick pick is Bowman, and his long shot is Kyle Busch.
Okay.
So
Solid.
not bad.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to guess what his picks were going to be. I wasn't super far off, but I didn't get them all right. Get into my picks. Xfinity, I'm going with your defending Cup winner. I'm going with Harrison Burton.
There you go.
He hasn't won yet. He's been really good in the car. He's turned the organization around. I think he's done everything he needed to do. And I just think it would be a great exclamation point to solidify him in the playoffs because he's around the edge. He's in right now. He could not be, but I think this would just be a great win for him.
Is this their cutoff race?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It should be.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. I threw that curveball at you right there.
After I finish my picks, I'll go double check while you're doing yours.
Okay.
My overall pick for this weekend is going to be Ryan Blaney. I think it would be in true Penske fashion to go ahead and kick it off right before the playoffs and get him on a roll.
Yeah.
It's hard if you're going to pick a Penske guy to pick against Cindric right now.
Right.
On a super speedway, but all three of them run really strong, and I think Blaney's going to kind of turn around his Daytona troubles.
Yeah, hopefully.
My HMS pick is Bowman. Really, he would be my overall, but for sake of how we do these, he's going to be my Hendrick.
Okay.
Dude's got to win.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. It's just going to be, balls to the wall. Hope you win. So
yeah.
I'm thinking he gets it done. I really hope so because, again, I'm not a huge fan of the playoff format, and I feel like the playoff format screws Bowman over more than anybody.
Yeah.
Because he's really deserving year in, year out to have a shot at it. Is he going to win 7 titles? No. Could he win 1? I think he could win 1
Maybe.
Before it's said and done.
Sure.
But, I mean, he's deserving and he's consistent. And then we have Josh Berry, Austin Dillon, and SVG, who are 20th to 30th in points.
Yeah.
SVG you could make less of an argument about because he does have 4 wins. But and then my long shot, my absolute crazy pick, John Hunter Nemechek. If you listen to the Checkered Chat, you'll know that I'm kind of slowly turning into a John Hunter Nemechek believer. Honestly, give him Ty Gibbs' car and he's in the playoffs with a win right now, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, totally could. He's been impressive for sure.
Yeah.
That team has turned a corner.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me give you my picks, I guess. So my Xfinity pick, I had a little difficulty here. I wanted to go Eric Almirola, but I'm going to go his teammate, I believe, Brandon Jones. Had a funny feeling about those the Gibbs cars this week. Yeah, Austin Hill would be the easy pick, but I don't like to make easy picks. So I'll go Brandon Jones, just a funny feeling with him. And then in the Cup Series, my non-Hendrick winner, I'm going to go with Chris Buescher. Reason being, yes, he has a little bit more pressure on him to win to get a playoff spot. RFK, they're all really good at Daytona. In fact, I would consider Ryan Preece if I didn't think he was going to go flipping through the infield at some point in this race. And we know Brad's really good here, so I expect them all to be running towards the front. And I do think the Fords are the best at working together. This is one of those races where teams work by manufacture, so I think Buescher is going to inherit good track position in this race. And we've seen him win it to get in before, so I think he might be able to do it again this week. My Hendrick winner is Alex Bowman for the same reasons that y'all think. I mean, he's the one that needs to win to get in. I do think he's got a legit chance to win this race this week, and it's because he has 3 teammates that are already punched into the playoffs. If they can get him positioned out front and they just block, like you just need the first 2 rows. Row 3 is not going to touch the 48 car. So I'm hoping as a Hendrick fan that's what happens. Going out there and executing is another thing. We have to stay out of trouble and survive to the end to get to that position, but I could see it happening.
Yeah.
And then my long shot, I wanted to go Nemechek as well. Part of me wants to go Eric Jones, but I am finally going to land on Ty Dillon just because it would be a crazy story.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where he's at in the points, but it's got to be a lot worse than SVG and Josh Berry and all those guys. So it would
32nd.
Yeah, it would be hilarious for him to make the playoffs, just like Burton did last year on a whim. Like seeing his brother, like seeing the brothers go back-to-back weeks to punch playoff spots would just be like the most NASCAR thing to happen. So that's what I'm going with this week. Those are my predictions.
Okay, so my fact check on the Xfinity Series. They do not end the year with Daytona. They'll have Portland, and then they'll go to Worldwide Technology Saturday, September 6th, and that is the cutoff for their playoffs.
There's still 3 more races for them, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's a good note.
So
back to your pick, though. Burton, very capable of winning the Xfinity race.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at the odds earlier, I thought he was a little bit further down than I would imagine for him. So I might have to put some money on him as well.
Yeah.
But all right, you want to talk paint schemes?
Yeah, so we'll kick off Justin's favorite segment without Justin. Hope you're enjoying the beach and just soaking up the sun while we're here working. Don't worry, we got it.
Paint schemes though, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to talk pretty cars.
Let's see. So my favorite, I'm going to go with Daniel Suarez's Coke car. I liked the Coke Zero last year, but something about the red and the white, I think it's really going to pop at night. I know a lot of teams try to do night race, black scheme, but I think that's just really going to stand out there.
Yeah. And with that shiny number on the side, it looks good.
Yeah. And then for my least favorite, I'm going to go with Riley Herbst because, quite honestly, I didn't think you could make the Chumba Casino car look any uglier. And you did.
Dude, my exact thoughts.
Oh, that thing's awful.
I was looking forward to seeing it, thinking they were going to do better, and it was worse.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. 2 good picks right there. All right. My favorite this week is going to be Carson Hocevar's car. I think this is also another casino kind of car. It's black and pink. It's bright. I'm a sucker for those neon colors and under the lights. That thing's going to be looking sweet.
They made it look like neon lights, too, at the bottom.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And there are a lot of good choices this week, too. But that's the one I landed on. My least favorite, that Michael McDowell scheme. And that's because I hate the Florida Gators. And it's an orange and blue car. So
yeah.
Go Dogs, baby.
Yeah.
Hope to see McDowell wreck this week. He
Yeah,
deserves it for running those colors.
Yeah. Hey, and like you said, I mean, this was probably one of the weeks, like one of the best weeks of the year for paint schemes.
It was. Yeah.
There are some good ones.
A lot of good-looking cars. It should be a fun race to watch.
Yeah.
In person and on TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to start wrapping up. Before we do, I got some restaurant recommendations to make because that's something that I do on my pod. Just for anyone that might be traveling to the track, if you want to try some places that are in town, or if you go to a location that I'm not familiar with and you know the places that I need to go when I do visit, I love to hear that feedback. But like I said, this is what I would consider my home track, so I do have some recommendations to make. first of all, I got to shout out the Oyster Pub. I'll talk a little bit more about them in a second. But there's a few other places. Beachside. These are all beachside, not trackside. So Boondocks is also on the water. They just renovated. They were not open in February, but a couple months ago I went and checked out the new renovations. They have some really good shrimp, according to my wife. I don't eat it, but she loves it. I love their wings whenever they have it. Good, good drinks, and man, the staff is top notch. So if you're in the area, go to Boondocks. Racing's North Turn. I mentioned that one just because it is a very large restaurant. You can get seated pretty much any time of day or night, and there's a lot of great history. They have their own museum at the restaurant. This restaurant sits on a place on the beach that they used to race way back in the day when they first started racing in Daytona. So it's really neat just to kind of walk that area of Daytona Beach, and kind of feels like you're on hallowed ground or something like that. Just all the great things that have happened there. And then I'll mention a brewery that's become one of our favorites. It's called the World's Most Famous Brewery, and they always have a pretty good rotation of beers in and out of there. So that's also everything's really close by. If you are next to the sand, any of those places are at the top of my list, and I have to visit this weekend when I go. But do you want to mention anything? Have you been to Daytona or know of anything to mention there?
So I've been to Daytona twice.
Okay.
I went 2015, Joey Logano winning the 500 year. Junior was robbed. I'll still never forget that. That was terrible for my first experience because Junior was right there. We didn't really stay long. So both times I went, we drove, and 2023 was the other. Both times we drove down to around Jacksonville area, somewhere up north in Florida, stayed Saturday night, drove to the track Sunday morning, did the race, and then got in the car and drove home right after.
Okay. Gotcha.
So most of my eating has been track food there.
Yeah. Okay. There has been some good places at the track to eat, but yeah, not really any right now that are great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you the weekend schedule, and then we're going to tell our listeners where they can continue to listen and follow us. But this weekend, Xfinity race is Friday at 7:30. That'll be on the CW. And Hendrick does not have their part-time car in the race this week. But Cup does race on Saturday night at 7:30 on NBC. And boy, that's going to be a fun race to watch. So I'll let you tell the people where they can continue to watch or listen or catch your content, and then I'll close.
Yeah. All right. So every week, try to post Instagram, TikTok. I promise at some point I'm going to try to revive the Twitter. Don't hold me to it.
Hey, the Blake over. Is it happening?
Yeah. I mean, starting real soon. All the content you'll see from this weekend will be strictly me. So it'll be the Blake over of the Checkered Chat.
Let's go.
You can find our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, or Apple Podcast. I just pulled a Justin. Oops. And you cannot forget about Audible, even though I swear nobody listens to us on Audible.
Don't forget Audible.
Cannot.
No.
We're going to make that a shirt one day. That'll be a shirt one day.
Oh, yeah.
Mark my words.
Dude, that's like the most important one on the list. Audible. Listen to it.
Lily listens to audiobooks and all of that. Doesn't even listen to us on Audible. Listens to us on Apple.
Yeah.
So the one person we might get to use Audible doesn't.
Nah. Nothing from her. Well, okay. So my reminder for my podcast listeners is this Friday. So day I've been looking forward to quite a bit now. But we are doing our live podcast recording. We're going to be at the Oyster Pub Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock. That's August 22nd. It's going to be here before we know it. Really looking forward to that. So if you are in the area, feel free to stop by. grab some oysters, grab some wings, grab an appetizer or something, get some drinks. They got a great rum bucket I'm looking forward to devouring, like within the first 30 minutes of walking through the door. We're going to be set up. I'll have a couple of my buddies with me. And I've reached out to some people, so you never know who might stop in with us because at the time of our recording, there will be no cars on track. Xfinity doesn't hit the track till 3 o'clock, and Cup doesn't hit the track until later at 5 o'clock for qualifying. So I think we're going to have a good afternoon over there. And yeah, it's going to be a whole weekend full of racing. And then if you want to continue to keep up with Zip It Up Pod, you can always watch these playbacks of the episodes on YouTube. You can listen on most of your major platforms, like Blake just mentioned. I don't know if I'm on Audible, though.
But you can't forget about it.
I got to check that.
Now you got to get on Audible.
I know. I need to. I've listened to a few books, but like the last time I logged into that account was years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find ours. And then you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And man, it's been another really good episode, fun episode. Love doing this with you. Glad we were able to make it happen again.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy listening to y'all's content. I would urge my listeners that if you want NASCAR conversation, as you heard earlier, Blake is full of knowledge. Justin fits right in like a glove. They do a great job every week covering the news and the recaps of all 3 races that go on. And if you want to, I'll talk to the Checkered Chat listeners. If you ever need some Hendrick spin on a race, come listen to mine.
Yeah.
I love what we're both doing. And I hate Justin wasn't able to join us, but we'll save that for another day, I guess.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I think definitely both of our viewerships and our fan bases can gain something from each other's content that you don't get. So it's not like you're listening to me and Justin and then Daniel, all 3 say the same things.
Yeah.
You get different.
Yeah, for sure.
And hopefully one season soon, we'll get you up to Atlanta for a race, or we'll make it down to Daytona, and we'll all enjoy a race together.
So, yeah, I was going to mention that. I meant to mention it earlier with the schedule drop, is that I am eyeing those Atlanta races.
Okay.
What I need to do now is get the MLB season drop and make sure there's a Braves game that falls on that July date. So, yes,
You're
sir.
speaking my language.
If they fall on the same weekend, I will be there
for
the Atlanta race. I know my wife would much be looking forward to that. But I would love to make Charlotte happen, Bristol happen. Some of those tracks I've been to, but I need to take my wife to.
Yeah.
But as for Daytona, man, dude, Speed Weeks is just different. I know you know that. So if y'all are able to get down here in February and maybe we do a live show with all 3 of us, like that would be a great way to kick off the season. And so, we'll see what happens as all these schedules drop. But I'm glad we can start planning for it now.
Yeah.
And we'll just have Justin not take a Key West vacation in the middle of the season. Like on the regular season cutoff race.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't have picked a road course or something else, just a snooze fest. You had to go
earlier
right
in the
before
summer.
Daytona.
I
know we all would have loved him talk about Austin Dillon this week.
How's he feel about Ty Dillon?
We both were big Ty Dillon believers when it came to the in-season tournament. We both joked that he was going to win it.
I think he got some more fans during that little in-season.
Yeah, and they're running it back again next year. So if he has a ride next year, I hope to see him back in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, looking forward to hearing y'all's recap of Daytona. And to all my listeners, y'all have a good weekend, and I guess we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Catch you later, Blake.
All right. Have a good one, man.